Hi, I'm Graham Martin, I'm the Recruitment Guy. Good to see you again. Today I want to cover one of the most important aspects of any interview. It's how to deal with the inevitable question at the front of the interview, which is, tell me about yourself. Now, I'm going to give you the formula in a few seconds, but what I want to discuss with you right now is, in my experience, what is going through the interviewer's mind at that point. Now, the sad reality is that interviewers don't always look at your CV before they actually sit down with you. I've had experiences of clients that have interviewed my candidates and I know they haven't read the CV properly. I've had a lot more feedback from other candidates in nearly 30 years that have told me that on occasion the CV isn't even present. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to get slightly ahead of themselves by saying, hey, rather than me asking you a whole bunch of questions, why don't you give me the bare nuts and bolts? So for some people, that tell me about yourself is an opportunity for them to gather their own thoughts, see how you work under pressure, and try and get a few pointers to decide where the interview is going to go. Now, if we cover the basic formula, you'll be fine. But also for some companies, for some interviewers, they use it as an opportunity to see what you're like under pressure. Maybe you're applying for a sales job or a management position or somewhere whereupon you've got to, should we say, hit the deck running and think on your feet. So for me, my biggest piece of advice is almost not what you say, but it's about your preparation. Now, for those of you who've been watching me for some years, you know I'm very, very keen on making sure that on your CV, the opening paragraph is, shall we say, the highlights, the best bits. It's a bit like a trailer, isn't it? When you're going to go and watch a movie, they've always got the trailer at the front of the forthcoming new films about to be released. So really, when somebody says, tell me about yourself, that's your opportunity to shine. It's the best bit, it's the car chase, it's the gunfight, it's the special effects. It's whatever it is that grabs you. Maybe you're going to see Brad Pitt and you think, right, any movie with Brad Pitt or whoever, you're going to go and see that. I go to cinema a lot. I belong to a cinema club, so for me, I know what I'm looking for, so I enjoy a really great trailer. So this has got to be your great trailer. We want to make sure that the interviewer is switched on to your response when you answer the inevitable, so tell me about yourself. Now, there's a whole bunch of theory and, should we say, statistics out there about how long you've got to make a first impression. Some people say the first 3-4 seconds, somebody say maybe the first minute. But my feedback that I've got, having arranged more than 10,000 interviews in nearly 30 years, is that the employer really does make an initial assumption about the validity of the candidate based upon, should we say, the first couple of minutes. And that is going to be, inevitably, tell me about yourself. So let's get straight to it, shall we? Tell me about yourself is a bit like, well, the Americans call it the elevator pitch, don't they? Imagine you're on a lift if you're in the UK, or an elevator if you're in America. You've got 60 seconds and you bump into Richard Branson or somebody equally as important, and they say, so, what are you for? Tell me about yourself. So in this, I want you to spend a long time, an hour, actually crafting your response and role-playing it again and again and again, so it becomes completely natural, in the same way that I can still quote you certain lines from Shakespeare, even though it might be, gosh, nearly 40 years that I learned those lines. Embed it, but make it so that every single tell me about yourself response relates to the company. Now remember, if you're applying for a job, let's say in accounting, you've got to make sure that you're going to say, well, I'm looking for a position as an accounts assistant. I use Sage 50. I've used to working on certain ledgers, and I've been working in manufacturing, production and services. My qualifications are, let's say, AAT level 2 or CIMA or ACA or FCA. I've been qualified for the last 25 years and I've worked in 3 organisations during which time my experience has covered X, Y, Z. Talk a little bit about your achievements, specifically work, of course. They don't want to know that you could swim 100 metres in 30 seconds when you were 14 in the swimming pool. They want to know what you've done that really would relate to them. So if, for example, you know they've got some challenges and the job specification says we're looking to reduce the inventory and you're a stock controller, I would go back into your career and pull out certain aspects of exactly what you've done to reduce inventory levels at your previous companies. So this is where the research comes in. Make sure you've got the job description, make sure you've spoken to the recruiter or the HR manager done as much research as possible so you can make this specific to the company. And then you say what you're looking for, and you've got to be quite specific. I'm looking for a position that's going to give me X, Y, Z. In return, I'm going to provide this. So we've got to get rid of all the cliches. Let's not talk about team working. Let's not talk about self-motivated. Let's not talk about somebody who wants to be in their boss's position in 3 years' time. Let's forget all those cliches. Interviewers, HR directors, managers, business owners, they don't want that. They want to know from the soul what you're really looking for and what you can do for them, what you can bring to the party. So please craft these properly. Now, every couple of months, I actually look forward to receiving some people's tell me about yourselves. They post me the videos. So if you want to do that, it's quite easy. Just email me a link to your tell me about yourself. And you know what? Do it in front of a camera. Do it with a friend, role play it, practice it, get used to it. So email me your tell me about yourself, help@therecruitmentguy.com. Now you can get a lot more information about my series which covers this and other aspects of your opportunity to get the best job of your life, how to transform your opportunities, and you can find that on the 17 steps to job hunting success, and you can find it easily on the link below. So if you want to engage with me, it's easy, help@therecruitmentguy.com. Go on, send me a link. Bye for now.